Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Celine. I am an energy healer, a therapist and a spiritual guide. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about meditation and how to do it effectively. A lot of the clients that come to me do struggle a lot with meditation. We don't always have to do it the traditional sort of way. You can go out in nature and just simply sit in quiet, see what thoughts come into your head, things like that, connect to nature. You can do that at home. Really it's just about allowing that quietness to be able to let those messages in. But the thing with meditation is it does take a lot of getting used to, especially if you've been through things like mind control and SRA as well. It can be quite hard initially for us to be able to do that because a lot of our programming is done via a meditative state, even though they use drugs and things like that. But it kind of brings back that it's triggering, and it can be quite scary to put ourselves back in that position. The things you need to understand is those people are doing that to us. That's not how meditation is. We have control of our minds and we have our own will, and you set the intent of what you want that meditation to be. So it could be healing, it could be meeting your higher self, your spirit guides, it can be anything. Whatever you set that intention for, that is what your meditation will be about. So as I say, it can take a lot of getting used to, but the trick is to keep doing it because eventually it will work. People think that, oh, well, it hasn't worked the first couple of times, so I can't do it. Well, it's not a case of that. You just have to keep going at it until you can, and you will. So the trick of the thing is, first thing we need to do is breath. So if you've seen my other videos, I always show you how to do the breaths. So for those of you that are new here, we breathe in for 3, all the way in, as much as we can, all the way. Hold it for 3, and then you're breathing out, and on the exhale, you're exhaling all the negative energies, and you're letting all your muscles relax and everything. So every inhale, you releasing muscles each time. So as you breathe out, more and more muscles will release. Anywhere you feel tension, you breathe in, imagining you're breathing into that space. So if there's a tight muscle in the back, you're breathing into that and releasing, so that muscle then relaxes. We're relaxing the muscles in our face. So we get into a calm state, and it almost feels like we're sinking into the bed. So if you want to, if you are new at it, maybe if you try doing it in the bed, you can even try doing it in a chair as well, if that's easier. But you're just feeling yourself kind of sink in. And then, so we do that with the breath, but then it's also important to get the position right. So if you can sit up cross-legged, that's really good. If you pull your left leg in first, then you're putting your right over the top. So we're getting into lotus position. We want to have straight backs. So the best way to do this, put your hands up in the air so you get a straight back, bring them back down again. So you're staying in that posture, and then for extra kind of straightening, you can tip your head slightly as well. So we've got the straight back there because we need that for the energy flow. And then another thing we need to do is the mudras. So the easiest ones are palms up, which you can rest on your knees. So it's kind of like that. We're holding the thumb and forefinger together, and this is what creates a circuit of energy. So as we're doing the breath, it's flowing all around us, and it kind of stays like a cycle, and it does it what we need it to do. You can also do a mudra like that one. Anything really that's going to keep that connection. So when you're doing it this way, you know as well that you're connected. If your fingers do come apart, you can close them back together again. So it's a good way really when you're first getting started. That's the most easiest one to be doing. And then another technique we need to do is the back of the tongue. We want it up at the top of our mouth, just behind our teeth. And that creates a connection as well. So when we're breathing in, we're fully connected and grounded into the earth, and that energy is flowing around us and it's not escaping and it's doing what it needs to do. So the thing is practice, practice, practice. Another thing as well with people thinking they can't do it, the mind keeps going off because the monkey mind starts, they try and keep the thoughts clear, but they'll think about what they need to get for tea or what someone said last week. Well, we need to bring the mind back. We're always focusing on the breath. So if that happens, it's learning. You are still doing it, because every time you bring your mind back to the breath, you're teaching your mind what it needs to do in meditation, and it stays focused on what you're doing. So each time you catch yourself doing that, you're pulling yourself back, you're actually training your mind. So it's not that you're not doing it, you're just getting used to it. It's a whole process. We've not really done this before for a lot of us, so it takes a lot of getting used to. When you're in meditation and you're doing this one and you feel your fingers part, that's natural because you're relaxed. So we're learning to keep the fingers together, so we're always pushing them, pulling them back together when we realise, just like when we come back to the breath. So we're learning that technique, that becomes natural. Same with the tongue at the root of the mouth. You'll realise when you're breathing in and exhaling, your tongue will want to naturally fall down. You just put it back up again. And you just keep doing that, and everything just becomes natural. It's like, if you've seen my video about thoughts and beliefs, it takes 30 days to change a negative thought into a positive one, or an old belief into a new belief. So it's the same with this as well. If you give yourself that 30-day period at least, and keep working on it as much as you can every day, even if it's a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, it doesn't have to be hours, but it just gets you into that routine and into that practice, and that will really help you as well with strengthening your gifts. If you're a truther, it will help with your intuition, your discernment, when you're researching and things like that, or you're listening to other people, so you can kind of discern what's the bullshit and what's a little nugget maybe in there. So it is really worth it. It helps with mental health. I mean, this is what actually got me through my mental health initially. My depression, anxiety and CPTSD stopped within weeks, probably 3 months at most, just from doing these sorts of techniques that I teach you. So, they do work. It's just a case of working at them. That's the whole thing. When you hear people say you have to do the work, that's what they mean. It's about doing these things over and over so they become a part of your daily life, a part of who you are, who you become, part of your daily practice. And that's how we change our life, basically. We just have to keep pushing and pushing and working through the healing and things we need to do as well. So I will leave it there for that video. I am going to do another one on shielding. I will explain more of that in the video, but I will say where a lot of the 5D New Agers and others I've heard in the Q movement are saying that the dark has won and has now exited. That's not the case. We do still need to protect ourselves as always. The chances are the dark's always going to be there. What we're here to do is stop this transhumanism and all the other things that they've got planned against humanity, the depopulation, things like that. This whole the dark's going to exit thing, to an extent it is, because we are inevitably going to win. The light always wins. But it's not that it's actually exited now. In fact, a lot of people, like paranormal investigators, I know I'm finding it, the work I'm doing as well, it's actually more on the increase, but it is because the light is beginning to take over in the power dynamics. That's all it's about, really. They've held the power for a while. We're going to take that back. they will still exist, but will hold the power. And it's kind of like it goes in cycles. There could be a time where the dark can take over and take power again. Who knows? But right now it's about focusing on us. So we still need that protection in place. So I will go in more into that in the next video, as I say, and I will teach you a good shielding tool that you can use when you're going out and about. It takes literally 2 minutes. So I will do that in the next video. So if you do have any questions, as always, Mercury retrograde, here we go, I'm getting jumbling over my words already. Yeah, if you do have any questions, pop them in the comments below. If you're on Facebook or whatever, you know the drill. All the details are in the description below if you're on YouTube. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Enjoy your day.